It was revealed at the end of this week that Special Prosecutor Jack Smith with the U.S. Department of Justice has sent subpoenas to more than 24 staffers at Mar-a-Lago. And when I say staffers, we're not just talking about people that work directly for Trump, because he has brought in some people who worked at Trump's White House who then went down to Mar-a-Lago with him to continue working for him. No, I'm talking about cooks. I'm talking about servers in the restaurant. I'm talking about housekeepers. Those are the people that Jack Smith has now hit with subpoenas. And that is exceptionally significant. I'll explain why in just a moment, but let me read this. On Thursday, Trump's communications aide, Margo Martin, who worked in the White House and then moved with Trump to Florida, appeared before the grand jury in Washington, D.C. One of Special Counsel Jack Smith's senior-most prosecutors was involved in the interview. Martin, who was among a small group of former White House advisors who have remained employed by Trump after he left office, declined to answer any questions when approached by a CNN reporter. Smith has sought testimony from a range of people close to Trump, from his own attorneys who represent him in the matter to staffers who work on the grounds of Mar-a-Lago, including a housekeeper, restaurant servers. The staffers are of interest to investigators because of what they may have seen or heard while on their daily duties around the estate, including whether they saw boxes or documents in Trump's office suite or elsewhere. So, here's the thing. Okay, that's why it's significant, because we want to know, these people are the eyes and ears. That's actually how they've been described at Mar-a-Lago. If you've ever worked as a server, if you've ever worked as a housekeeper, you know that you see things, you hear things. Okay, there's no secrets in the back of the house. Let's just put it that way. For all of those who've worked in the service industry, yeah, we know that. There's no secrets in the back of the house. That's why these people are of value. But here's where things get interesting. Jack Smith, who, formerly worked at The Hague, prosecuting, high-profile international criminals, he's not just going to send subpoenas like, oh, okay, yeah, give me 4 waitresses and 2 line cooks and 3 housekeepers. That's not what he did. When you start an investigation like this, you start with the people you know were involved. Those are the people that get the subpoenas first, and they come in and talk. During those communications, other names are mentioned. When those other names are mentioned, they're of course noted, documented. And then if that person's name is associated with possibly knowing something, that is when they get hit with subpoenas. So that is why this is so significant. It's not just Jack Smith randomly picking a couple servers and housekeepers to come in and talk. It has to be because these people's names were mentioned as persons of interest. They were mentioned as somebody who might have been next to Trump as he was having a conversation. It could be, most likely, the housekeeper who was in charge of dusting the boxes, or at least worked in the area where the boxes of documents were kept. These were people whose names were given to the DOJ as potential witnesses. What's more, these are people who don't necessarily have any kind of loyalty, or shouldn't have any kind of loyalty, to try to protect Trump. I mean, nobody ever wants to lose their job, but if you're a housekeeper, at a hotel or resort in the state of Florida, if there's one thing you can find, it's another job at a different resort. We've got plenty of them. They're always hiring. Same thing with servers. This is a tourism state, is what I'm saying. So they don't have to worry, oh no, what if he's going to come after me? Oh dear, then I have to move to the next resort and get a job doing the exact same thing. You may not want to do it, but that is an option. So these people are under no obligation to protect Trump. They are, as I said, the eyes and the ears of Mar-a-Lago. They're low-profile people that Donald Trump probably won't be able to get to intimidate. And even if he did, as I said, he's got nothing to intimidate them with. They can move to the next resort. These are people of value. Trump probably didn't think so when he was blurting out horrible things all around them. And that's going to come back to bite him very soon. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel. We also encourage you to like, comment, and share, but again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.